Well, good afternoon, everyone. I don't know how many people are going to join us, and frankly, it's really not that much of a concern for me, really, because I'll put the video on as a tape anyhow, where we can actually watch it later. That's fine. But, I was sitting back this morning and I was taking my morning walk, which I do every day when I say my prayers and give thanks and make all those kind of statements and ask for forgiveness and try to make sure that I ask for specific things that happen in my life. And it dawned on me how important it is for us to let's just give pause to celebrate. We live in a climate where, oh, hey, Michelle, what's happening? We live in a climate where, things are tumultuous between protesting and between the racial divide, social class divide that we have between cultures and nations and all these different types of divisions. We lose track of the thing that there's some pretty incredible things that are taking place in our lives. And I've been going through some self-evaluation, some introspection, and I have come to the conclusion that there's actually so much great that's taking place out there. We can talk about trade wars with China, and we can talk about COVID-19. But my honest opinion is that even though we have monumental economic and political challenges before us, I also think this is a time for great opportunity. Given the fact that, and this is going to be just a 10-minute little thing, given the fact that we have artificial intelligence and different things competing with us in the employment market, I think it's a time for a great reset. I think everybody out here has the opportunity to redesign their life in the way that they think is best for them. Michelle knows this. She's in my class. One of the things that I always talk about, especially at the beginning of the semester, is that so often we take the wrong view towards education. See, education has been designed as a transaction rather than something that is transformative. And I let my students know, and I let you know, that we actually have a lot of greatness inside of us. Every single one of us has greatness. The question is do we want to assess it, do we want to pursue it, or do we want it to sit back and disappear? I mean, as we age, one of the things I've noticed is that people give up on their dreams, and I don't understand why we do that. And in this climate, I think people are having more and more difficulty dreaming at all. As a matter of fact, if you were to look in the mirror, the question that I want you to ask yourself is, do you still have your dream? And even more, do you have the ability, hey Madeline, do you actually have the ability not just to dream, but to actually fulfill the dream? Do you have a vision for your life, right? I was just on Facebook posting the announcement, a link to come into this live stream. It's only going to be about 10 minutes. And Diana Macias had just posted. Diana Macias is a broker for the company Primerica. Hello, Nicola. How are you? Nicole, I'm sorry. And Diana went from being a nurse practitioner making about $100,000 a year, and she stepped out of her comfort zone and tried to work with Primerica instead. And when she did, the most amazing thing is within 2.5 years, she crossed over, I think 3 years, she started making $500,000 a year. And within the next 2 or 3 years, she's actually going to cross over and make $1 million a year. And it's only because she took a chance. She saw something inside herself, and she saw something in the rubbish of despair that she said, you know what, I can make a difference. And in making a difference, not only has she made her financial life better, she's also made the financial lives better of so many other people. So when I take a look at, and you all don't know this, especially those of you who are in my class, this is not an official class live stream, but it doesn't really matter, is that I'm 54 years old at this point in time in my life, and I don't have to pursue anything new. As a matter of fact, my income is twice as high as I ever thought it would be. Just a little bit of strength in my spending habits, and I could have all the money that I possibly ever wanted. And I found myself this semester, especially those of you who are in class, trying to figure out what's going on, read your announcement board. I made some announcements today. But one of the things I noticed is that it was time for me to recalibrate and rebuild my own life. And so I went into hibernation, for those of you who are watching me from Facebook and from Instagram. I went into hibernation for a reason. And the reason was I can't keep telling my students that there's greatness inside of them and I don't pursue it myself. And I realized that in this climate, with all these changes that we currently have, man, we can do anything. We just have to put our mind to it, like Diana says. And I have finally put my mind to doing it. I looked at my Facebook today because if you don't know, I finally finished and published my new book. It's called Hope Works, Moving from Darkness into Your Dreams. And basically, that book is all about how you can come out of the darkest moments of your life and you can actually use those moments to transform and create something great within your own time period. And so what I did was I went into hibernation. I went to a place where I can sit and chill, I can relax, I can look at mountains. Every morning I look at the sun coming up over the mountains, and every evening I make sure I watch the sun go down. And in that time, I just allow the sun to embrace me so I can meditate and think about what it is I want to do. And now it is so clear that even at the age of 54, I still haven't pursued my own dreams. And so I've been working really hard on constructing a vision. And one of the things that I've developed that's forthcoming is a series of books about hope. The next one is called Success at the Speed of Hope. The other one is called Becoming a Hope Warrior. And then there's another one called The Use of Hope in Corporate America, Profits in the Bottom Line. In other words, I'm just building a series of things. Now, one of the parts of the series I'm going to do, and this has been in me for years, is that I'm designing my own university. It's called Transformation U. And what it is, it's an idea that if there is greatness inside of us, it's never too late, Nicole. It's never too late to achieve your dreams and to achieve your goals. But you have to have them, right? One of the things I noticed when I was writing this book, here's what's interesting. I wrote an outline for the book. I found it on Facebook, and the outline was written on August 9th. And now it is September 21st. I published it last night. So in 1 month and 10 days, I wrote an entire book, right? And it was all from scratch. It was all from the top of my head. And it ended up, it's become something that I think is going to be phenomenal. As a matter of fact, it should be available this week at Amazon.com. And really my goal is to sell 10,000 to 100,000 books, right? Because I do believe that hope really is the answer to what we're looking at. As a matter of fact, the reason why hope is so important is because it is the foundation of moving forward. If you don't have hope, how are you going to create a vision? If you don't have hope, what's the sense of even having a dream? And if you don't have hope, a dream, and a vision, how are you ever going to achieve greatness within your lifetime? It's almost impossible. Nicole, they are still, what are they doing, reviewing it, and it should be available within the next 24 to 48 hours, and it's good. I've had people who have already read it, and they've all said, man, I've walked away. I don't know how you did it, how you got through the places you got through, but you keep on thriving, you keep surviving, you keep making things happen for yourself and for others. And based upon that, I've come out of hibernation, and I am unilaterally focused, not just for me, but for my former students and for those people I haven't even met yet. So here's all I got to say. We have ingenuity inside of us, right? We have the ability to be creative. Question is, can we ever think for ourselves? If we learn to think for ourselves, if we learn to design the world in the way we want to live it, and we never forget that there are others that we can influence. Right? One of the quotes, I don't have it in front of me, it's from Nelson Mandela. Essentially, at the beginning of this book, I quote Nelson Mandela, who basically says that when you shine your light upon others, you unknowingly and unwittingly give others the right to shine their own light. So in that way, hope is contagious. And when we make hope contagious, nothing can happen except great things for everybody. So I take a look at, and it drives me crazy, the racial tension in the United States. It's fabricated, baby. It's socially constructed. And that social constructing is devastating. I take a look at coronavirus 19. Yeah, it's devastating. Those of you who are in my class, you know that we're doing this thing remote, but the fact of the matter is I'd much rather be live because we can do that. By the way, my partner at Primerica and I, Annette, we're launching a series of financial workshops strictly designed to help people achieve their financial freedom. Why? Even if you live in the rubble right now, right here, today, you can stand and get out of the rubble and move forward with your life. What does it take? It takes a plan. So what she and I are going to be doing, we're going to probably do our first one next Monday. We're organizing it today, and we're putting together all the sections and the content. But it is my life mission to do two things. Life mission number one, make sure that everybody has the ability to have their own financial freedom. Step two, allow people to find their own greatness. For what reason? So they can live the life in the way that they want to live it, and not the way that other people tell you to live it. See, if we only have so many years and days and years and days, months, and years on this planet, why don't we maximize them? The reason we don't maximize them is because we spend so much time trying to find a job and work for somebody else's profits that we forget to put ourselves in the vision. And I noticed when I was writing the book, I said, I work really hard. I have hope. I've never given up. But what is that factor that prevents me from moving up myself? And I said, I have to discover this. And I wrote a whole entire book. And then in the last chapter, chapter 20, it dawned on me that I have these dreams, right? I have these ambitions. I have these desires. But I never saw me in it. I saw the dream, but I didn't see me in the dream. So here's what I realized. Even though I'm like a motivational speaker, I'm a professional coach, I'm a professor, I write and I design these programs, I realized that something was missing from my package, and that is me. Now the question is, if I'm doing all this, right? Every morning I say, I love you, I like you, you're worthy of your dreams. If all that is true, and I overlooked it, are you overlooking it? And those of you who are young, all right, this is the great reset. Even though everything looks difficult, even though the playing field looks like it is not made for you, let me just say this. It is made for you. And even if you're young and, they talk about the millennials and they talk about Generation Z as being apathetic or as having no energy, no ambition, that's not true. The question is what do you see for yourself? Where do you want your life to go? If you can't see where you want your life to go, it's not going to go there. You understand? So our job is to do two things. One is to understand that we were put on this planet to live a great life. Two, we are also, supposedly, I think, allowed to have financial freedom so that we can live life the way we want to live it. And three, I think that at the end of the day, it is time. It is time for us all to go ahead and stand up and move forward. Because if we do it together, something amazing is going to happen. And what's that? It's just like the old adage, rising water will raise all boats. It will, but the problem is that water is made out of molecules. And those molecules connect and raise up. The problem with us human beings, as long as we're dividing one another based upon social class, based upon employment history, based upon age, based upon race, based upon place of origin, we're not connected. And when we're not connected, we fall. So, our job, and I'm doing this on Facebook, I have a group called the Hope Warriors. And the Hope Warriors, all we do is work together to elevate one another. And in doing so, when we can elevate ourselves to greatness, by virtue of doing that, and we share our light with others, we allow others to also build their greatness. Well, I didn't want to go too long, so those of you who came in, thanks, Megan. I appreciate it. Daria, I think I responded to your email today. Make sure you all check the announcements. I made a very easy, smooth announcement, and that is we're gonna pause here to celebrate. We have reasons to celebrate, and the reason is you. That's our reason to celebrate. Well, I'm going to click off of here. I just want to say, for those of you who tuned in, Daria, send me an email to sean.hopeworks@gmail.com and tell me what class you're in. Oh yeah, remember, you got to tell me what class you're in, then I will send you the syllabus. All right, everybody. This is not a class time. This was just a time to celebrate. So please, find you, like you, love you, and know that you are worthy of your dreams. All right, everybody. Have a great, great Monday. This week is made for you. Take care.